Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to learn 7 tips about how to remember the books we read. So the first step of our process is learning how do we forget books. Yeah, exactly. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. We have to learn how do we forget the things so that we can counter-initiate them and remember them better. So we have 2 different kind of mechanisms for forgetting. The first one is passive forgetting, the next one is active forgetting. The passive one consisted of 3 subclassifications. First, loss of context. The brain is like, we need this, we read it, we memorize it, but now that we do not need it anymore and the purpose is gone, we're gonna forget it. But the next one is the retrieval interference forgetting. What is this? Imagine reading similar drugs, similar names about different medical conditions, and you don't read them too much, so you cannot remember them exactly. After 1 or 2 time reading, the brain will be like, okay, we know that we read about these things, but we don't remember specifically which one was for which part, and we keep forgetting them. That is exactly what happens in this kind of forgetting. The next one is the natural decay. Natural decay is just you do not retrieve the memory anymore. It's just there. After a while, the biochemicals of the memory and the synaptic connections between the neurons that are holding the memory, we call them engram, get weaker and weaker to the point that the brain cannot recall the memory anymore. That is something that happens to the memories that are not used. So we better use the memories that we have so that they do not get into the natural decay process. The next classification of the forgetting mechanisms was active forgetting. The first active forgetting is motivated forgetting. When you do not like something and the memory brings back the negative emotions, the brain and the cognitive mechanisms decide that this is not good for us. So suppress it and don't remember it anymore, and you will forget about that single memory. The next one is partial interference forgetting. What is this? You know, as the bad memory, we have a good memory. The good memory is associated with the bad memory. We are going to forget the bad memory in the process of motivated forgetting, but the brain knows that if we remember the good memory, we will remember the bad memory as well. So the brain is like, for the greater good, we will sacrifice this. The brain will suppress the good memory as well so that you cannot remember the bad memory. The next one is interference-based forgetting. Imagine you are trying to study for your exam, but while you're studying for exam, you'll check your phone too much, your siblings come into your room, your mom calls, your friend calls, you'll be like, okay, let's play a game and this kind of things. This, in the process of making the memory of the book, will make the brain overwhelmed with different kind of information and different memories, and it cannot form a single good memory of one thing, and you will be doomed at that moment. And the next kind of forgetting is intrinsic memory forgetting. The brain has its own mechanisms for forgetting some things that are not needed, like you're going through an alley, you see a pigeon go from here to there, but the brain remembers that for maybe a couple of minutes, and after that you will completely and totally forget about it. Like, it creates a void. You have never seen that. Why is that? Because brain knows that we have a lot of different memories that are needed to be memorized throughout the day. So it'll clean out those allocated spaces to these non-useful memories. It'll clean them out so that it can use them as a specific new usable RAM for new memories allocations that are important. Brain is a giga-chat for us. Now let's dive into 7 tips for remembering books in an efficient way. Tip number 1, let go of the bad books, just like your toxic ex. Yeah, exactly. When you go to a bookstore and you want to try buying a new book, open the book, look at the list, and pick up some interesting titles. Go to the pages and read 3 to 4 pages of them. And if you felt the connection and felt motivated to read that, it means that the book is well written and it is good for you. Because those feelings that you have show that you, maybe unconsciously even, you have some interests in this book and it grabs your attention. That will keep you motivated. Just like the motivated forgetting, you will be motivated to remember this book. And this is the first step of remembering those books. Don't feel guilty if you have bought a book and you're halfway through and you do not like it still. Just put it away. Don't read it anymore. Because life is too short to spend it on reading books that you do not like, right? just put it aside and go and grab a better book, read it, and stay motivated while reading it. You know, the book that you don't like, maybe someday it'll come in handy and you will feel interested in reading it, but now it's not for you. Just let it aside. The next one is real-time need. Watch yourself, ask yourself, do you have a special curiosity? Like, do you like to know how the steam engines work? Are you going to be a parent soon? These are the questions that you ask yourself, and you find things that you'll be like, okay, this is my need currently. And then go find the books that will answer those needs exactly in time. Like if you are going to be a dad or mom soon, go buy a book about parent education. If you like to know about engineering stuff, go and read some articles and different kind of things about it. This will help you exactly the way that the motivation was. This will help you to be motivated and remember the memory better than the normal times. And also there is one more point to it. You have the basic of something, you have a need, and brain wants to answer this. So one memory of the need, the second memory is about the answer. We connect them, we overlap them, and we will create a complex memory. The complex memories are very resilient to the forgetting process, and you will forget them pretty hardly. The next part is look for the cues like an investigator in a crime scene. When you're trying to read a book, try to find the notes in it. You know, you find this note, that note, or even in the novels. Just try to remember the insights, like this love scene is delivering this concept and insight to us. Try to write them down on a paper and then put them in places that you can find them easily, like inside the book itself, or writing it on OneNote, Microsoft Word, Evernote, Mindly, any application that is useful to you. Write them in there, and then when you need to remember the book and you want to review it, just go back to the notes and read them again. It'll help a lot. You know, it's the process of relearning and stopping the memory to go into the process of natural decay or a different kind of inhibition that is going to happen to it, because you're just relearning again and again and again and again, and the brain is not going to forget this kind of stuff easily. The next one is connect the dots. You know, find similarities in the differences and connect the things that seem to be afar from each other. You know, doing this will make a very wide range complex memory. You know, when you're trying to connect the aspect of love, the concept of love, to the joy or to the grief or sadness, it'll make a special bond for you that is defined by you yourself. And this kind of things require a lot of thinking and a lot of process going on inside your brain, and this processes will help you to create different kind of memories. Memory of sadness, memory of reading this book, memory of reading about love, experiencing love. This will all become connected because of this process of thinking, and they will help you to remember it better. Like, it's not always about this kind of thing. Like you're learning about a color theory, you know that this type of colors are used for this and this type for that, and medical uses the blue colors mostly, and you'll be like, okay, blue is kind of clean and it'll give you calmness and this kind of feeling, so you will remember it better afterwards. You won't be like one straight line of thinking like blue, medical. You will be like, blue is for the calmness, and calmness comes from the medical as an effective factor for the medical purposes, right? That is the process that is going to happen for us. The next part is, what does the book says? Try to write a 3 to 5 sentence abstract about the book after you finish it, so it'll act as a compressed file for you when you need the book to be reviewed in your brain and you don't have much time. Just go and grab the abstract, read it again, and it'll exactly work as a WinRAR file for you. You can read that and it'll extract the enormous amount of data about the book for you. You will remember different aspects of the book. Now, how we should read this. Try to remember what the book niche is, what the book is trying to talk about. And when you are writing it, if you feel gaps and you do not know what was there, what was that supposed to mean, that means that you have a little bit of gaps and problems in understanding the book and you have not understood the book well enough. Go back, read the book again, or read the notes that you have wrote, and it'll help you to be able to write this specific abstract. Voila. Just like that. Of course, for some references like medical references, engineering references, physics, or this kind of things, we have different chapters. So you cannot go and write down whole of the book inside a 3 to 5 sentence abstract. Do this for each chapter separately. Like this chapter is talking about this, so it'll help you as a key, you know. These abstracts are like a key to a wider range of knowledge, and if you have them you can easily access, but if you don't have them you still can access that knowledge, but you have to break through the door in a harder way. Number 6 is mystery of one in the eyes of many. There are different kind of concepts and aspects of life that we have experienced them or we have seen them, but we do not know about the other angles to it. Like love can be very ferocious, can be very exciting, or it can cause a lot of sadness. Maybe we have experienced some of them, but we do not know everything about love, or even everything about steam engines and this kind of things. For knowing this, we have to go and read different kinds of books that approach that single matter in different views. So doing this, you know, reading different kind of books is still going to form different kind of memories that are related together, are overlapping, and they're complex memories. It'll also help you to understand that you are not a person who knows everything about the world. Most of us think that we know 80% of the experiences that happen throughout the world, but in fact we only know 0.0000001% of the things that actually are going on inside the whole world. So do not be, don't trust your ego that much and try to read different books on one matter so you can know that there is a lot of different concept aspects to it. This will make you be wiser and be a lot more insightful in the different terms of your life. The next part is double down on good stuff. When the book is good, read it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and use the book's knowledge inside your life as an action thing. Use those concepts to make your life better. Why is that? If you read a book one time, even if it's a masterpiece and you do not use it anymore, that little spark that has been created by the light of the book inside you will be turned off by the huge amount of daily routines that brain has to go through them, do them every day. Brain has different kind of habits, good or bad, you are doing on a daily basis. And if a good book is supposed to change them, you have to imply and use those things inside your life on a daily basis so that those things actually do something in your life. If you just let them be without doing anything about your life, the book will be forgotten in a matter of time. But if you do it constantly in your life, it will create a memory that is action-based, and it'll be stored in a different part of your brain, and these different parts are getting connected and making a huge range of memories again and again and again. This will help you to remember the books much better. The last part that we are going to talk about is the more the merrier. Is this something right? Like you have seen a lot of different videos on YouTube, how I read 1000 pages in a day, 400 pages in a day, and this kind of things. Are this legit?
Yes.
But the most of them are people that they say during the video they know what the book is actually talking about. They have read the book before, and now that they are reading it now, they're just reviewing it and retrieving the data from before. So if you are starting to read the book for the first time and you'll be like, okay, I'm going to finish the book in just one day, it's not going to be a useful thing because you have done nothing. You read it, and after a while you'll be like, I read the book, but I don't remember what it was talking about. And that is a very big problem. So if it's your first time reading a book, take your time, go easy on yourself, take notes, be insightful, and try to extract those meaningful things from the book. And after a while, when you read it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, you will get to a point that you feel like you've actually written the book. And at that point, you'll be able to just go through the book and review it in one day, because just for the sake of liking the book, not for understanding it. You just read it for the sake of liking it, and you will retrieve the data and you'll be like, okay, we're all good. That is the way to read the books in one day. Do not do it for the first time. Just after a couple of times that you read the book and you know about it, you can go freely and review the book in just one day without any other problem. So this is the end of our video. I hope that you enjoyed the video very much, and I hope that it'll turn out useful for you. Thanks for being with us in our journey, and I wish you a very beautiful day, just like yourself.